they get out of this little residential spot, and then according to the briefing from Nigel yesterday, of which you saw some, he said that it starts off, you know, a bit residential, and then it suddenly turns into this beautiful ride. And this is the bit with all the causeways and bridges on that you tend to see when people talk about Norway. So hopefully I'm going to spot them. I'm hoping there's some viewpoints I can stop up, take some pictures. Should be an absolute corker. Then it's one more ferry, another couple of hours riding, and then I'm at Alesund. Then I've got a rest day tomorrow, which will be quite nice, it has to be said, particularly if it cools down a little bit. Yeah, this looks like archetypal Norway, doesn't it? Sort of thing you would imagine when you think of Norway. These are the scenes I think of anyway. Big mountains coming out of fjords. Quintessentially Norwegian. Looking at the sat nav, looks like we've got a bit of a bridge coming up. I wonder if this is one of the iconic ones. Could well be, so I'm just going to go approach slowly in case it is and there's a viewpoint that I want to stop at. Looks like there's a viewpoint there. There's quite a nice bridge. Not sure it's an iconic one, but let's go into this viewpoint anyway. That's not very. That's not quite as photogenic as I was hoping. Impressive enough, but not what I was thinking of. All right, let's head over it anyway. Yeah, I think this bridge is better going over it than looking at it, to be honest. Ooh, cheeky third gear select there while standing up. Not as easy as it should be. Certainly not when I'm doing it. Just look at this traffic for a Saturday. It's terrible. One of the bridges I was thinking of looks like it sort of disappears to the edge of nowhere, and I'm hoping I'm going to get a good view of that. It's certainly within the next hour's riding. Now this is a pretty impressive bridge coming up. Okay, it's a suspension bridge, always a good sign. Is this one of the ones I've seen in the pics? And does it have viewpoints? Certainly in a beautiful spot, look at this. Oh yes, look at that baby. That is a beautiful bridge. Wow, the deck has got a sort of noticeable bend in it. It's sort of a Golden Gate Bridge-esque, but with a big bend in the middle. Look at that. Now that is a beautiful bridge. Wow. Yeah, got to get a pic of that. Can I get a sneaky one under the bike in front of part of it somehow? Don't think I can, I'm going to try. Well, just a little photograph stop there. Took a couple of snaps of the bridge. Couldn't really get a great angle on it, unfortunately, just the way it is sometimes. And I couldn't get a good shot of the bike on it either, or near it, unfortunately. Anyway, I think I might be going against the traffic here. I'm going to do a little detour now. I can't go that way. Oops. Oh well, get another look at the bridge. That fella's wondering what on earth I'm doing. Well, there you go, there's another look at the bridge, a bonus. It is lovely. Sadly, I'm not actually going to be riding across it, because I'm going to do a little detour now. Because I mentioned the iconic bridges are actually towards a place called Kristiansund. I'll need to turn right here to do that. There we are, Kristiansund. Even though Alesund is that way, it's the quickest route. I don't want to miss out on seeing these bridges. Hello, sir. Very friendly, the bikers around here. You tend to get a wave from pretty much all of them, which is nice, even on a GS. Right, it's got a tunnel and a half coming up now. This one I'm about to enter, which is going to be nice and cool. 5.1 kilometres long. In my mind, that's quite a long tunnel. Hello. Oh, let's see what the temperature gets down to. It's 32 at the moment, look. We'll see where we get to at the bottom. Oh, this tunnel is bliss. I've still got another 3k to go, so I'm about halfway through it. And look, the temperature now has dropped down to 20.5, so I've lost 12 degrees since I came in. And although 20.5 is normally quite warm for me, That's just a blessed relief today. It feels, well, I was going to say Arctic like in here. Oh, it's gone down to 20 now. Properly chilly, I like it. Stand up and get some ventilation. Oh, that is cold and nice. Oh, that is good. That is good. Right, looks like we're getting onto a bit of a climb now. They have these little signs in the ceiling every now and then, tells you how far you've been, how far you've got to go. That's not one of them. That's telling me there's 2 lanes ahead so I can overtake if I want to. That's a bit spooky. Let's do it anyway, because you can. Oh, that just feels wrong. That just feels wrong. 19.5 degrees now. Oh, 19.5. That I liked. Okay, we'll watch it climb at the other end. Quite quickly, I imagine. Oh, that was so good. So good. Right, sat-nav's gone back to daylight mode. Feels like somebody's turned the heating back on. Here we are at Kristiansund. And the bike has noticed that the temperature's rising. It's got up to 25.5 now, 26, 28, 28.5, 29. And still it goes up, look, 30 degrees now, and it'll stop at about 32, something like that. Nuts, isn't it? I'm tempted to say global warming, is there anything in it? And if this is it, I like it, but it can't be right, can it? This far north that we're getting these temperatures. It's made for a great biking holiday. But look, 32 degrees now. Right, I'll try and shut up about the temperature, because I know some people watching that won't seem anything. But for me, 32 is a hot temperature. And for Norway, it's even hotter. Right, let's find these fancy bridges then. Right, something of a bridge. It's like a bridge with another bridge. Again, I don't think this is the one of the ones I had in mind. I'm not entirely sure what I've got in mind actually. I've just got this vision of a bridge that sort of goes up and round a corner. I'm hoping that's on this route. If it's not, I'm going to be gutted. I'll be looking forward to that. This one seems to be replacing that, which looks like an old bridge that's no longer used. What's that all about? It was closed off, but they've just left it there. Unless that just gets a few people up to that, what looks like a control tower over there. Pretty, again, an industrious part of the country here. Looks like some sort of gas or oil terminal over there. Okay, so I've worked my way through the town there, which I think was Kristiansund, and then down here is the way to this Atlanta Havsøren, or whatever it's called, which basically is the Atlantic Way. This is the tunnel into it. Oh, again, it's just instantly cold when you come in here. Beautiful. Bit worried that it says Toll Plaza and 6k, but never mind. Woo, that is chilly. I think this was another 5k-er. Tell you what, it's not wise to wear your sunglasses down these. I can barely see anything. 17.5, look at that. Coolest it's been on this trip. 17. There'll be frost on me soon. 16.5. Okay, I'm not going to play this game anymore. I need to concentrate on actually riding this bike through here. It's not as well lit, this tunnel, as the other one. Right, I'll see you on the other side when it warms up again. Look at that, 16 degrees now. Oh, nearly through it. Well, that was amazing. That went down to 16 degrees. It's already risen to 20 now. We're at the end, and that was absolutely lovely. A real refreshing thing. Right, there's a toll here. Outrageous. So motorcycles, 65 krones. My goodness me. £6.50 that cost me. Oh well, I'm sure the view will be worth it. Hi. Tack. Thank you. Tack. What a faff tolls are on a motorcycle, eh? Tell you what, my Norwegian is coming on a treat. You notice the way I said tack there with such aplomb. That's what being addicted to the bridge does to you, and hoping that Swedish works in Norway. Right, let's get on with this view then. Whee, it's got a gear. Well, suddenly the landscape has taken a completely different turn. Looks more lunar-esque suddenly. Sort of more barren. I don't know if in that tunnel we climbed a lot, but it seems like, you know, well, it's like we're in a different country again. How very strange. So here we are, this is the start of the route, this Atlanta Havsvägen, 20 kilometres of, I think it just means Atlantic Way, something like that. Hello. And that's the tremendously scenic bit, as opposed to just beautifully scenic. Well, this is a tremendously grippy road. I mean, the road surface is probably 40 degrees, so my tyres will be as sticky as you like. And it's just got bags of confidence in the cornering today. I've been leaning this GS over today harder than I think I ever have, and so far I've just been nowhere near the limit of it. Another thing I've noticed about Norway is they proudly fly the Norwegian flag everywhere. I mean, there's one just there, look, as I happened to mention it, just there. I don't know if you can see that on that white building. But there are plenty of really nice houses back there that had them flying as well, and I've seen that a lot. I think that's a good thing. If you did that back at home in England, you'd be locked up as a nationalist. I think it's good to be proud of your country and stick the flags up. Why not? But I agree, it's a bit chavvy at home, so I wouldn't do it myself. Some lovely houses down here. I'm guessing this is one of the more desirable places to live. Right, even my sat-nav is saying Atlantic Way now, so it's all pointing to the right stuff. Well, that's very pleasant. This was described last night as a bit like the Florida Keys, so we'll see. I have been to the Florida Keys some years ago, and I have to say I don't remember it being much like this. However, I kind of get the point of a load of linked islands by bridges, I suppose. Gitoya Heiholmen in 800 metres, that's good then. Oh yeah, I sort of get the Florida Keys thing now then. Ah, look at that bridge over there. That's one of the ones. That's the one I saw just now. It's got that bizarre hump to back. Hoping I'm going to be able to get a viewpoint on that. Crikey, the whole world's here. That's quite cool. They've got like a walkway around the side of the hill. I wonder if that's so you can get a view of the bridge. Possibly is. I guess this is where I better stop. Well, bizarrely, I pulled in there and it turns out the rest of the team are there. So Nige has asked if I would ride over the bridge and ride back again so he can get a picture of me coming back over it, which I'm very happy to do. So I'll get to ride over it a couple of times. Check it out, the height and steepness of this as a bridge. I bet the GoPro doesn't pick it up, but it's pretty wild. Right, I'll turn around here for him. He wants me to go as slow as I can over the bridge. Just get out of the way of the car behind me and then I'll go slowly.
get a photo of you, so I didn't realise it was you till it was too late.
No worries. Oh, what a warm one again, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So what time did you get that ferry?
Whatever, half an hour after you.
Oh right, okay. You must have passed me when I was having lunch then.
Ah.
I guess.
I thought you were here and been set up for ages.
Okay, second time over the bridge then. Quite good that I met up with all the crew. I'm not quite sure at which point they passed me, probably on the lunch stop. Unfortunately, I couldn't really get a very good angle to get a good picture of this bridge, which is a bit of a shame because it is a bit of an iconic one. But never mind. It's quite wild. But my word, is that a busy little spot there? Touristville Central. Right then, a bit of a dash now. One more ferry to go before the last leg to the hotel. And we're thinking we should be able to get the 3:45, which is a little bit earlier than the printed schedule said we'd make. So that's the plan. Stick around and stay tuned. Let's see if it works out. So it looks like it's me and Bill that have made a bit of a splinter group. Off first, Bill ahead. And although he looks very benign and sedate on that bike, he's actually a pretty rapid rider compared to me, so I'm not going to attempt to keep up with him. If he starts to wind it up a bit, I'll let him go. He'll be busy thinking about his gyroscopic precession and stuff and his wheels, and at what point he needs to weight the pegs for maximum turning radius. I should just be enjoying the view. Although I do like the scientific approach to biking, I must say. So we've turned off the Atlantic Way now, which to be honest I was a little bit disappointed with. I thought it was going to be a little bit more to it than that, but there we go. The rest of Norway more than makes up for it. And we're heading towards the last ferry at Molde. Well, this is a rather lovely little spot again. Not cooling down at all, but a gorgeous spot. Some more biker types. Let's see if they're wavers. Hi. No, he's not. Hi, he is. What about this one? Hi. Yeah, GS man. 2 out of 3, that's not bad. Okay, we're at Molde waterfront for the final ferry of the day. We've got a little bit of a wait before we get on board. And then it's the final push to Alesund. Looks like one of these up the ramp jobs. Right, so that's the final ferry done. It's still absolutely baking, but look at these clouds. The weather is on the change as predicted. So we got a quick 42-mile black now to the hotel in Alesund, and I'll catch up with you there. So you catch up with me now in Alesund in the hotel. Great little place in a cracking part of town. It's called the Hotel Brossundet, B-R-O-S-U-N-D-E-T, if you ever come to Alesund, and Alesund is A-L-E-S-U-N-D. Really nice place. The bar and stuff downstairs look absolutely fantastic. Going to go and check those out in a minute. So far I've only tried out the shower and that's fine. This is the room, which is absolutely perfect, functional and comfortable, and I've got a little bit of an area to do me social media, etc. Just trying to catch up on the social media, all the comments and stuff that you very kindly leave me. It's great. I read them all 100%. But it's getting to the stage now with comments and with Twitter comments and Facebook and stuff that I can't actually answer every single one of them. So I apologise if I don't get to answer yours specifically, but rest assured I do 100% read it. So but I'll try and answer as many as I can in the time that I've got. It's just, it would literally take me forever to answer everything. Just get to that stage, so sorry about that. Anyway, so here I am in Alesund. Big day today, over 300 miles, pretty tired. We've got a big meal this evening, which should be great fun because it's paid for by the tour company, so that's great. Yeah, and then tomorrow we've actually got a day off, so I'm going to just take it looking around Alesund, which looks to be a lovely, lovely town. So join me then. I'll just show you out the window. Actually, this is the window view. I haven't got a great view. but you can see that we're actually on the river here. So although I've not got a great view out of my window, it is in a great spot just in front of the river where all the bars and restaurants and stuff are. So I'm going to go and check it out a little bit now, and then tomorrow I've got there's some optional rides I may do. I'll see what the weather's doing, or I might just have a look around Alesund and show you that. Anyway, whatever, join me tomorrow for more of the same. Cheers. Well, good morning folks, and welcome to Alesund. This is the Hotel Brossendet where I'm staying. I had a top night out on the town here last night. It's a lovely little town, lots of bars and restaurants. I had one too many beers, actually got a little bit of a headache, but that's my own fault. Anyway, the day has dawned, as you can see, a completely different day to how it has been. If you're looking at the clouds, it's actually been raining this morning pretty hard, which has prevented us going out really, and today was meant to be a rest day anyway. But there are some little variant trips, in particular one that I want to do this afternoon is called the Trollstigen, which you will have heard of. That's the sort of extreme windy road down the side of a mountain. You definitely would have seen the pictures, and I'm hoping I'm going to do that this afternoon, providing the weather stays fair. In the meantime, I thought I'd just show you a little bit around Alesund. So this is part of the harbour. Now it turns out there was a big fire here in the town in 1904, and that meant a lot of the buildings got destroyed, so they've ended up with quite a mix of old and new buildings. It's not a sort of a central old town as such, but it's very interesting from an architectural point of view. I mean, just check out this street here. It really is quite splendid. So this is one of the bars that we hit last night. I think the thing that appealed was the name, but it turned out to not be very good, to be honest. And as I say, maybe had one too many. Anyway, let's go on to the more touristy part of the town. It's quite nice down there. So this is Tourist Central behind me. This is where it was all happening last night. It was about last night at midnight. It was still about 26 degrees, and there's a bridge just over here that people were jumping off of into the water, which was quite fun. Anyway, that's our hotel there, the green building. Hotel Brossendet, something like that. So absolutely perfectly located for all the tourist hotspots. And this was another of the bars we indulged in last night, much more acceptable than Dirty Nelly's. Right, now I've come down here to the sort of working end of the town, if you like. This is the sort of main port area where all the cruise ships and so on come in. Hopefully you've got a reasonable view of that. And specifically I've come down here to show you this one ship behind me, this big white vessel. I don't know if you can see it, it's called the World. And it's a bit bizarre. We looked it up because we were curious about it, and it turns out it's the biggest privately owned yacht in the world. And the way that it works is that those balconies you see, they're all individual apartments that people own, and they actually live on the ship, and the ship just goes round the world all the time, and people live there. That's their life. It's just a bizarre concept, isn't it? And as I say, that's the biggest privately owned yacht in the world. That's what qualifies it as that. I don't know what they do about maintenance and so on, but it's a bizarre concept. I'm sure there's a science fiction film in there somewhere when you start to think about it, actually living on board a ship that just keeps on going. Bizarre. Anyway, I'll get a bit nearer and show you a bit more. Okay, so there you go, that's just a little snippet of what Alesund has to offer. Obviously there's a lot more to it than meets the eye, but a lovely little place. If you're up in the area and you need somewhere to stay, then do put Alesund on your itinerary. Alright, the weather's definitely improving now, so it's time to jump back on the bikes and let's get the Trollstigen done. So to the Trollstigen then, what's that all about? Well, oh, there's a couple of GS boys, give them a wave. Hello. Actually I don't think they were GSs, but they waved anyway. So yeah, the Trollstigen Pass, it's one of those passes that you see a lot in the photographs when you see motorcycle tours of Norway. It's probably the most photographed pass in Norway. Series of hairpins up the side of a mountain, climbs about 3,000 feet, absolutely staggering looking. And from where we're staying, it's about something like 80 miles away, maybe a little bit more. So 160 mile round trip. So, you know, it's about a 5-hour ride on our day off. But to come this far up Norway and not do the Trollstigen would be somewhat of a crime. And especially now the weather has turned out absolutely perfect. Look. Richard up ahead, potentially doing a slightly different route to me. We've all gone our own way today. Nigel, the tour leader, has gone scouting a much bigger route, which is like a 400 mile loop. which I really didn't fancy on my day off, and also it was absolutely chucking it down with rain this morning, and he left in that, or pretty much so. I just didn't fancy a long wet day. But it's turned out to be absolutely glorious now. It's about 20 degrees, perfect weather for riding. Roads have dried up, and just check out this scenery. I mean, this is Norway like you see in the brochures, isn't it? Incredible, and a beautiful smell of pine as we go through here. So Trollstigen, they're one of those iconic passes that has to be done, I think, if you're in the area. I think it literally stands for Troll's Path. And it's going to be interesting to see how that compares to some of the hairpinnery that I did on my Gran Canaria tour, which was pretty special. So anyway, I reckon we've got about, well, it's about another 40 minutes ride till I get there. So stick around and stay tuned, and let's enjoy some of the scenery on the route. Another glimpse of an amazing fjord before we go into another tunnel. Don't know what's been going on in here. It smells a bit alcoholic. Weird. Oh, and a little bit of fresh air again. Another view of an amazing fjord before we hit another tunnel. This one's less alcoholic. Looks like there's a ferry there for Granger. This really is a cracking route. I mean, we were looking forward to yesterday's Atlantic Way, which turned out to be a little bit disappointing. Then this, which is just an optional, you know, do it if you like type of trip, turns out to be absolutely stunning. This is Norway as you imagine it, isn't it? Huge landscape. Just beautiful. What a stunning place. So it looks like I'm going to be riding the Trollstigen from the bottom to top. And who knows, if it's that good, I might do it from top to bottom as well. Hello chaps. Many bikers. So, looks like it's 31k according to that sign. So what's that, about 20 miles? Half an hour, something like that from here. Well, never mind the Trollstigen itself. I mean, the scenery around here has just been beautiful. Absolutely cracking ride out. These mountains here are really quite something. It's bizarre, but there's a overwhelming smell of strawberries around here. It's really quite pleasant. I don't know where they're growing, but they're definitely about. It might just be because I'm very hungry. Anyway, apparently there's a cafe at the top of the Trollstigen and a viewpoint, so I think that's going to have to be visited. This is such a stunning ride through to the bottom of the Trollstigen. If you're ever out coming up this area and you want to do it, then it's on Route 63. These mountains now are just getting huge. Just check what the elevation is, because I think we're going to be in for quite a climb. So we're currently at 650 feet elevation. We'll see how that rises when we get to the actual Trollstigen Pass. And the sat-nav now is saying best viewpoint, cafe, etc. at the top. Rather helpfully, a waypoint put in by the Motorrad Tours guys. This is definitely one of those once-in-a-lifetime rides, so I'm just trying to drink it all in. Look at the size of this valley. This is like a Glencoe times 15. Amazing. It's an amazing waterfall. I don't know if you can see it there on the GoPro, but it looks staggering to the naked eye. Brilliant. Now, I don't know exactly where the pass is. other than it's ahead. And I'm looking at the clouds in that valley there and hoping it's not in that bit, because that'll really mess up the views. It would be rather a shame.